Well, here we are, another day, another dollar, out here working our derrieres to the ground. A lot of us are. A lot of a lot of us are trying to make a living. A lot of us are trying to do what's right for our families, our loved ones, trying to better our homes, all this stuff. And I've been watching a lot of things that's happening right now going on in our country. I'm not worried about the world. I'm worried about our country. And I'm seeing all this stuff that's happening. And it's got me to wondering. Everybody says, oh, believe me, believe what I'm saying. Everybody from Dr. Fauci is supposed to be the expert on this coronavirus, all right, to the World Health Organization, who can't even decide what the truth really is about this virus. It's not a bacterial infection, ladies and gentlemen, it's a virus. And it's real, but it's not a bacterial infection. Even the CDC comes out and reneges on a lot of their stuff that they're saying. They come out saying how wearing a mask full time is bad for you now, but yet they're the ones that saying you need to wear a mask full time. They're the ones coming out and saying how bad the virus was and how it created all these problems, but yet now they're saying that it's nothing like they assumed it was to begin with. So who in the hell do you believe? In all honesty, who do you believe? Who can you believe? Can you believe your local government, your city, your county, your state, your mayors, your representatives, your governors? Can you believe any of them? Can you believe anything they're saying? I don't. I don't believe any of them, and I hate to say that, and that is a shame. And a lot of you folks are probably the same way. A lot of you folks are probably the same way, saying, "I cannot believe my local officials. I can't believe my elected officials. I can't believe my mayor. I can't believe anything." So it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. Sherry Kelly, who can you believe? Good morning. You know, I'm running a little late this morning, so I thought I'd come on here and do this because I've been seeing a lot of things lately, and none of it's adding up. None of it's adding up. You know, there's a lot of states out there that's got a lot of issues, a lot of problems. A lot of your mayors are demanding that you wear a mask. Okay. A lot of your states are demanding that you wear a mask. You don't get in groups of more than 5 or 6 or 10 in some spots. A lot of your governors have overstepped their boundaries because everything they've said you must do, first and foremost, if you folks don't know this, has to be passed by your House and your Senate of your state. And none of it has. None of it has. The only thing that you have to do is follow the emergency proclamations that they put out there. That is it. That is it. A lot of idiots out there who've overstepped their boundaries big time. And so who do you believe? Who can you believe? BLM's touting all this stuff. Who can you believe? Well, I just want to give you an example of BLM's true propaganda message that they're putting out there. There was an article written, actually put out on Facebook by one of the leaders of BLM in Canada. And she said, in her own words, before it got taken down, and then it was put up all over Twitter and then taken down. It's amazing how all this stuff gets taken down. But she was saying that the white people are not as dominant as the black people. The white people has genes, okay? And we're the ones that's creating all the sicknesses because we're white. I ain't lying to you. It's actually kind of comical, but at the same time, kind of scary. It really is to see what she said here. I'm gonna pull this up if I can find it, or later. There we go. There we go. Okay. She says, a Black Lives Matter co-founder, Patrice Cullors, who proudly admitted that Black Lives Matter is a Marxist organization. This is not about Black lives, but instead is about transforming America. Okay? Now, there was another lady. Okay, that was the co-founder. Now, there's another lady with Black Lives Matter, Ursula Gali, a Black Lives Matter leader in Toronto. In 2016, she wrote, "White people are a genetic defect of blackness," in a since deleted Facebook post. Okay? Whiteness is not humanness. She wrote in the Facebook post, "In fact, white skin is subhuman. White people are recessive genetic defects. This is factual." She said, "White people need white supremacy as a mechanism to protect their survival as a people because all they can do is produce themselves. Black people simply through their dominant genes can literally wipe out the white race if we had the power to do so." Kogali asserted that white people have a higher concentration of enzyme inhibitors which suppress melanin production, adding that melanin is important for the number of things such as strong bones, intelligence, vision, and hearing. "We are a threat to the genetic annihilation of white people." Wow. In a separate Twitter post, she tweeted, "Please, Allah, give me the strength to not kill these men and white folks out here today." You know, after being criticized for the tweet, she responded by saying, "I am not a public official. I am not a police officer. The state does not entrust me with violent weaponry. I have never contributed to the mass targeting of the community, and all I have done is used a turn of phrase, a rhetoric flourish to voice my frustration and dare to be person calling for justice." Really? So we are supposed to take it that that's what Black Lives Matter is all about. Okay. Now she's probably Muslim on top of that, which is really interesting because they're against slavery, right? Black Lives Matter wants reparations for slavery. Am I right? You guys remember that? They're saying that, you know, it's such bad, slavery is such a bad thing, and that's all they could talk about is slavery. Well, let me ask you this: your supreme God, Allah, was a slaver. He had slaves. So should the Muslims be paying reparations for slavery? Now, like I said before, I'm Scott Irish. There's a lot of Irish folks out there. Should we be getting reparations from the English? Because we were held as slaves by the English and sold by the English and transported all over this continent, all over the world by the English. Irish were actually taken and put in South America, here in America, Canada, almost every continent on this planet. It was. It's a known historical fact. You can look it up. So who should we get reparations from? Okay. But see, you can't believe anything that you hear coming from these people, even from the news sources. I had a gentleman who watches my program every once in a while here on YouTube, and he got so mad at me because when I was on Facebook, I did a show saying how you can't believe anything any news broadcaster says, and you can't, because they have a set diameter that they go towards. They got perimeters which they can tell us the truth about, and we're not allowed to hear the actual truth. We're actually supposed to hear their opinions only. And that's a shame. That's a shame. I had a conversation with a person yesterday. And this person says, "Well, I've had riots and I've had protests in my community, but things are kind of going down. How many have you had in your area and what all have they destroyed?" I said, "Well, we have one group come here want to do a protest, but they were met by armed citizens armed citizens that lined the entire street where they was at. They didn't have a chance to do anything. And actually, law enforcement had snipers on 6 different buildings. So it kind of makes you wonder. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? This person was flabbergasted that we have no problems here. None. No kind of protest, no kind of riots. I told her, I said, well, it's Northwest Oklahoma. Trust me, I don't want to come here and try to start stuff. And the funny part about it is I told this individual too, I said, here's the funny part. A lot of those people that were out there, and we don't have very many of them, but we got some black folks that live here. And guess what? They were armed standing out there also, because they're against what BLM is for, because they've changed their narrative. They've changed their narrative completely. It's just like them oxymorons are wanting to defund the police department, but yet they want the police department to come provide security for them so they can hold a defund the police department rally. Really? You know, my question is, who can you believe? Because we every day it comes on the TV, it comes on the radio, comes on the internet. Who can you believe? Now, I've been doing these shows long enough. I've been doing these shows for 4 years. I started out on Facebook. We support Donald Trump. And I went from there to different platforms, had my own platform. And I finally had enough of Facebook, so now I'm certainly doing them on here. But I've said one thing for 4 years, and it's still true. Don't believe me. Don't believe me at all. Look this stuff up yourself. Do your own research. And I guarantee you what? Yes, it's my opinion. It's my facts that I have researched. It's my knowledge that I put together and learned about this kind of stuff. But I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to me as far as don't take my word as gospel. Do your own research. You'll be amazed at what you find out. You know, my bigger thing is I'm trying to educate some folks, because we can't believe anybody. We can't. You can't believe your local officials at all. You can't believe your state officials at all. Hell, we even got a state senator here. Well, actually, he's the federal government, and he's actually trying to get rid of Columbus Day, because now, since all this stuff came up, he is one of the Republicans that is trying to get rid of Columbus Day and replace it with Juneteenth Day. Okay. Yes, Juneteenth was a dark day in Oklahoma. It was a bad day. I ain't going to lie about it. It was. But we have a state senator in Washington, D.C., Jim Langford, who has decided we need to get rid of Columbus Day. And he's coming with all these facts and figures about how it is a paid holiday, how it is a federal holiday, and we need to get rid of it and replace it with Juneteenth Day. Why? Oh, because the country is only allowed to have X amount of holidays. Really? That don't make sense to me. Granted, I think personally we have way too many holidays. I really do. I think we got way too many holidays, but that's just me. That's my opinion. Because I think we get too many people that don't want to work. Here's something else too. I've been watching what's happening. I've been watching all the attacks, black on white attacks, because they're BLM. Okay? Men, women, whatever. I see groups of people attacking children and elderly. I see them attacking mothers with children. But you know what I don't see? I don't see BLM members attacking middle-aged men, fighting men. You don't see that. You don't see that at all. They pick on the elderly, and they pick on the young, and they pick on the weak. You don't see these people going after somebody like me. You just don't see it. especially one-on-one. It has to be a group mentality. There's a group of them, a bully session, as you will. There's always one ringleader, and everybody's got to jump in and start beating everybody up. But you don't see that, do you? No, you don't. You know what's really interesting is a black BLM member kills a white BLM member, a girl. This black man killed a white girl who was supporting BLM, was out there protesting with them, tearing stuff up. Well, he decided he's had enough. He's going to go ahead and kill her. What does that tell you? Right here in Oklahoma, we had a young boy, a young black boy, who thought it was okay to attack an elderly couple that had been married for 60 plus years, severely beat the man, severely beat the woman, and decided to rape her, and she died. Well, guess what? He is arrested. He is going to prison. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we live in a society here in Oklahoma where you're going to get charged with that crime, unlike certain other places where you can do whatever you want and not get charged with it. It's like that man that's carrying around that AK-47 who shot that little girl in the car. And they can't seem to find him, but they keep posting pictures of him, but nobody wants to turn him in. Imagine that. You know, the question is, who can you believe and who can you not believe? That is the question. That is the question of the day. Who to believe and who not to believe. I have my mixed emotions on it. I don't watch news anymore at all. I don't even watch Fox News anymore because to me, Fox is becoming very liberal. I listen to him on the radio. We got Brian Kilmeade on first thing in the morning. I cannot stand Brian Kilmeade because Brian Kilmeade to me is so liberal, it's unreal. And he talks out his backside. 1 minute he's supporting President Trump, he's supporting the conservatives. This, that, next thing you know, he's talking against him. So I'm kind of wondering what's what. You know, and our Republican leaders, okay, where are they during this whole process, during all these riots, all these protests, everything else? Where are our Republican leaders? Some say they're doing their job. Some say they're taking care of business. Lindsey Graham is busy trying to take care of Hillary Clinton and all these email scandals. And do you guys understand that Hillary Clinton has to testify? Do you guys know that? She has to testify next month. Her appeal was shot down by a federal judge. She has to testify on her emails. Now, she's probably going to take the fifth during the whole thing. Imagine that. But if our Republican representatives are for the people, as they tout to be, how come they're not out doing something for the people? Where are they at? Why are they hiding? This makes no sense to me. This makes no sense at all. You know, we got federal representatives that we put up there in office that's supposed to be working for us, and they're not. They're not working for us at all. Our federal representatives are hiding, basically. They are. You know, I just don't understand this at all. I don't. You got one person up there, Nancy Pelosi, who seems to be running every single thing there is. How many of you believe what she says? How many of you believe what Mitch McConnell says? How many of you believe what anybody says? It's getting harder and harder every single day to believe anybody. You know, I've always been the type of person that believes the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. If somebody is going to say they're going to do something and you see them do it or you hear them do it, that's a whole different ball of wax there. But you know what? I'm hearing a lot of people say this, that, and the other, and nobody's doing anything. So who do you believe? Who can you believe? You know, the one person that's come out in the last 4 years that's really done what he said he was going to do was our president. He really has. No matter if you like him, you hate him, you don't agree with everything he says. but our president has done everything he said he was going to do. And it's really funny. His own family members are going to give him, oh, this new book that's out by a family member saying, oh, he can't give love. He was beat by his dad. Oh, he don't know how to love. He don't know how, he can't be president because he don't know what it's like to come from a loving home. Okay. Well, it makes it interesting, doesn't it? Makes it real interesting, doesn't it? My thing is this. No matter what background you come from, you can change if you want to. Even though he come from a background to where his folks worked hard, his dad probably wasn't the nicest guy around. Hell, my dad wasn't the nicest guy there. My dad was a mean son of a bitch. I ain't gonna lie about that. Everything I heard about my dad would make your hair stand up on your arms and the back of your neck. My dad was a mean bastard. He really was. But he changed. He met a good woman, married her, took care of her, and changed who he was in every aspect. Became an upstanding member of the community, actually served on a lot of different commissions with the city to change things for the better. So people can change. You know, I look at things like this. Our president is doing anything and everything he said he was going to do. So can you believe what he says? Yeah, I think you can. But here's another thing. There's so many things happening behind closed doors right now. There's so many things happening behind the scene right now. All of this other stuff happening is a major distraction. It is. It's a major distraction from what's really going on. Have we all fallen into it? Yeah. Why have we fallen into it? Because it's so prevalent. Right now, this is so prevalent in our lives that everybody is focusing just on this and they're not focusing on what else is happening. Because you're not hearing it. It's not being spouted over the news. It's not being told you on the radio. It's not being told on the internet. There's so much other stuff going on right now. It would shake you to your core if you knew everything that was going on. There's websites you can go read all this stuff. There's rumormill.news. There's nasera.blogspot.com you can go look at. There's thousands of them that you can go look at, and you're going to see news on those pages that you won't see anywhere else. Hell, even here in Oklahoma, we had a football coach who got in trouble for wearing an OAN t-shirt because one of the black football players complained that his head coach was wearing an OAN t-shirt. Now, OAN is One America News. I believe a lot of stuff they put out. I really do. He got in trouble for that. He had to apologize for that and take $1 million pay cut for wearing that one t-shirt. Okay? It's just like going out and saying all lives matter. That is supposed to be the worst thing you could ever do. Oh, my goodness gracious. And God help you if you praise God, you do things for your family, you do things for your country. That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing you can do. You know, I just have this, I find it asinine, to be completely honest. I see all this nonsense happening every single day on TV, on the internet, on Facebook. And I ask myself every day, we're supposedly have a lot of veterans in this country who took an oath to defend this country from foreign and domestic terrorists. How come nobody's doing that? I see all these riots happening in certain areas across the country. Where's all the veterans? If the police department isn't going to do nothing, why don't the people of the community do something? Because by law, you can. By law, by our Constitution, you've been afforded the right to protect this country. By your oath that you have sworn, you have a duty to protect this country. Trust me, if it comes right here to Northwest Oklahoma, My oath still holds, and I will still defend and protect this country from foreign and domestic terrorists. I don't have a problem with that. The worst thing they can do is take my birthday away from me. That's it. So if you guys are tired of all these riots, you're tired of all these protests, how come the people of the community doesn't stand up? How come the people of the community, somebody else to come do what needs to be done? Because they're not going to. They're not going to. So it makes me wonder where the people from the community are. Or are the people in the community strictly waiting for somebody else that keeps telling you BS? Oh, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. No, you're not taking care of it. If you're taking care of it, guess what? We wouldn't have these riots. We wouldn't be having these protests. We wouldn't have people putting Black Lives Matter on streets. You wouldn't have people saying you must wear a mask. No, you don't have to wear a mask. Every single day, your civil rights are being stolen from you. And every single day, you abide by what their wishes are. You need to stop. You need to stop. Quit letting them take your civil rights. Because that's what they're doing. That is what they're doing. Has anybody ever thought about this? I'm going to throw something out here before I go. We are supposed to be a sovereign nation, correct? According to the Constitution, we are supposed to be a sovereign nation, a free people, but we're not free. The only place that's sovereign in the United States of America is two places. One of them is the UN in New York. The other one is Washington, D.C. Washington, the District of Columbia, is sovereign. It's its own country. It's not a state, ladies and gentlemen. It's its own country. You now are trying to make Washington, D.C. a state. But in all honesty, officially, it is not a state in the United States. It is a separate country. It is sovereign. How many of you didn't know that? But see, what they're doing is they're trying to destroy us. They're trying to take our sovereignty from us. You know, at one time we was a constitutional republic. Well, we lost that. We did. We lost being a constitutional republic. Our governors and the president signed that right away. It's a historical fact. You can look it up. But we are one of the last great superpowers. Okay? Why are they trying to destroy us so much? Why are they trying to destroy us from within? Now, here's something else to consider. While we have everything going on right now in our own country, thanks to Obama, our military was cut in half. So President Trump wants to bring our military back, which I'm fully supporting. He wants to bring our military back to our country. All of our attention right now is on these protests, these riots, these armed militias like what's down there at Stone Mountain, Georgia, threatening, wanting a battle. All these black militia members is wanting all the rednecks and 3%ers to show up down there and meet on the battlefield. Okay. We got everybody else wanting to defund the police departments. Okay. So all of our attention's on everything else. How prime is this country right now for invasion from another country? Say China, say Russia. How prime right now is America to an invasion from another country? How many of you would be willing to step up to stop that invasion? Because trust me, ladies and gentlemen, ever since I was in the military, I've thought about this kind of stuff, and I'm seeing it right now. I'm seeing it. Our borders are weak. Our military is spread so thin. How easy would it be for somebody to come into our own country and try to take over? How easy would it be for another country to come in and have a red dawn in this country? It'd be pretty damn easy if you ask me. So it makes me wonder, who can you believe? Can you believe the World Health Organization? Can you believe your governors, your mayors, your city council, your county commissioners? Are they doing what's right for you and yours during this COVID coronavirus epidemic? It's not an epidemic. And speaking of the coronavirus, it even happened right here. Right here. They took two test swabs. They opened them up. They never touched a person with them. They put them back together, put fake names on them, fake names. And both those tests came back positive. How is that? How is that even possible? My little brother told me over there in Amarillo, Texas. They shared a deal with me. There was a husband and wife went up to get tested just to see. Well, they were waiting in line. They had enough waiting in line, so they said, oh, we're going to go home. We got other things to do. So they went home. A couple of days later, they got a phone call saying both of them tested positive for the coronavirus, but they never got tested. We have so many people dying of the coronavirus. They're not dying of old age. They're not dying of drowning, car wrecks, medical conditions, nothing like that. But yet now they're coming out and saying, oh, there's a new wave of coronavirus. That test is a false positive test. Right here in Woodard, Oklahoma, I know some people that went down, got tested. They said, oh, you're positive for the coronavirus, but I'm not sick. A couple of days later, they went back, got tested again. Oh, you're negative. You're not sick. Well, how can that be? Because you guys said I was sick just the other day, that I had it. Well, you don't. I said, all right. So he went back a couple of days later, and they said, oh, you got the coronavirus. Now, wait a minute. How can I have it, then I not have it, then I have it? It doesn't make any sense at all, especially since I'm not showing any kind of symptoms at all. Well, that's what the test results show. But yeah, we got all these people dying. People that's in their 90s and their 80s dying of coronavirus. We got people drowning in lakes that died of coronavirus. We got people that die in car crashes, gunshot wounds, everything else. It's coronavirus. See how they keep pushing the narrative? So who can you believe? Who can you truly believe? Myself, I've come to the fact that I don't believe a damn person unless I see it or know it for myself. That's why I do a lot of research on my own. And we have the capability. You, I, and everybody else has the capability. You can't go to the libraries anymore and do your research because the libraries don't have it. Because everything now is on the internet. Like if you go to rumormillnews.com, you got to look through everything. And yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy stuff. There's a lot of BS on there. But you do find stuff that are true. You have to read through everything and look, and you can find stuff that's true. Same thing with Nasara Blogspot. You go through there, you start looking on there. Yeah, some of it's BS, some of it's not, and then some of it's true. You know, don't believe me. Don't believe me. Do your own research. Look things up. You're seeing plenty of videos, plenty of shows out there. There's a lot of news. You decide for yourself what's what. Maybe then you can figure out who to believe and who not to believe. Do I believe anything about this coronavirus? Yes, the virus is real. I had it in January. I had it the entire month of January. I got people that had it. I know people that had it in January and February. The virus is real. But all these deaths, and don't believe the test. It's a false positive test. So if they tell you you're sick, but you're not, guess what? It's just like if you go to work, they run this thing over, test you, okay? But what they're not telling you is if you ride a bike to work, Your body builds up so much heat because of the exertion in riding the bike. You can run that thing across your head before your body's completely cooled down. It's going to show you have a temperature because your internal body temperature builds up as you're exercising, as you're producing sweat, as you're working. So guess what? It's going to come up and say you're sick. Who are you going to believe? It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing how little things are overlooked or skipped. Now, myself, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep trying to provide for me and mine. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we're safe and that we're taken care of. I ask that you guys do the same thing. But think about who you believe. Think about who and what you're listening to and believing. You know, I get so much stuff sent to me, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't think so. A lot of it's BS. A lot of it's kind of like, no, don't believe it. Don't believe it at all. You know, and it's a shame, too, because people are so used to being fed this fake stuff that they actually believe it. And it's a shame. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get to work. Coffee's almost gone. You guys have a great day. God bless you. God bless the Republic of America. And the last thing I got to say is this. If you sit on a wooden fence too long, you're going to get splinters in your butt. So get off the damn fence. I don't care what side you get off on, right or left, north or south, east or west. Just get off the fence. Put your feet down, pull those splinters out, and go forwards. Because right now, this country, we're not going forwards. We're going backwards. And you can see exactly what's happening. So is it good? Is it bad? Or is it any different? That is for you to decide. Y'all have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to go sweat my butt off in the 106-degree weather today. God bless you. Have a good day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.